This is a tutorial for small fire setup in 2J. It's essentially the same way in SMB1, where try to grab the X and get hit by the fake Bowser in 1-4 at the same time. And it has a bit of coin toss into it. Sometimes it's almost impossible to pull it off, but other times it has a big leeway. And then there's a situation where you could do it, it's not impossible, but it's less lenient. There are 3 situations that you can end up with when you want to set up small fire. Sometimes you can have a big leeway from jumping. Sometimes you jump and it never works based on personal experience. I'll explain that error that you might make when you want to set it up in 1-4. In 1-3 you want to get the power up, and I'm not sure if there's a safe way to do that. Do everything as usual if you're doing this as small Mario in the first place, and when you reach that part, you jump. That's a bad save state. I do a backwards jump right about here. Just a medium, it's not a full jump. Full jump does that. You don't want that, so just medium, just to get past this one. And you want to hit that block, and once it spawns, you want to run here in the middle. Run to the left, stop right around when you're gonna get to the middle of this platform, and then hold right, then jump. I'm gonna do that. So I'm jumping, I'm pressing left already as I'm going here, and it takes a bit of practice for sure. Or I don't know what the alternative method is. It's quite hard, but with practice you could it's manageable. So what I would do is like this, and that power up jump also takes some time to practice. Turn around jump, hit that, press right once you see Mario in the middle, and make sure that you would release A right before you get the power up. And then while the cutscene is going on, after you grab the power up, you have to buffer A. That makes you jump. There you go. And that's it for 1-3. You want to get the power up in 1-3 compared to 1-1 and 1-2. At least that's how I do it. We're gonna repeat that level to show how it's done. This will get you a 3, I think. Do whatever you'd like to do here, doesn't matter. But here you want to do a middle jump, release, and repress. And there you go. If you don't get to jump off of the power up, that means you didn't buffer jump, or you weren't able to release jump in time just before getting the power up. That's out of the way. 1-4 is where the variations are gonna come in. This is just normal platforming stuff, except here I recommend that you jump just before this one, just before this block here. If you do a full jump, it's gonna land you right about here, right about there. You don't wanna touch this block. If you already touched that block, that means you jump late. That means you're gonna jump late. You're gonna do stair boss, just like that. And then you do the duck jumps here. That's the fast strat. Okay. Do it again. Duck, duck. And when you're doing duck jumps, it's important for you to press down before jumping. And release right too. You can't do down plus right. That's just a regular non-duck jump. and you would do it right around there. It's kind of like you want to hit the block. You kind of want to hit that block with the fire bar over here when you do the duck jump. So jump right around here. Duck, duck. You have to do 2 duck jumps. Duck jump, and you do have to do another duck jump to get past that. 2 duck jumps, a duck jump to kill the Koopa. You can do a regular jump, but it's tighter for the sake of giving friendlier fire bars, or like a better leeway to do them. I'll do the fast way of doing it, but you want to do duck jumps all the way there. If your duck jump doesn't hit the block, you're gonna get hit. That's the safer strat. Notice that I'm not holding right at any point when I bob the Koopa here. And if you're not that comfortable alternating between duck and right, duck, duck, duck jump, duck jump, duck jump. That should give you better ones. It can be on the later side, like you hit this part of the ceiling, and sometimes the breath is gonna be unfriendly here. If that happens, yeah, like that, you can do another duck jump. I wasn't pressing right there. I was just jumping right away. One last look. Duck, duck, duck jump, duck jump, duck jump, duck jump, duck jump, full jump, and you get this section, the battlements, which are absolutely not safe at all. That's the fast way of doing it. I couldn't really explain how to do it, but I know that it will give you a good one if you do a duck jump, and right at the end of this pillar, you do a left tap here so he faces left, so you can take advantage of the fast acceleration. If you're in this guide, you probably know how fast acceleration works. So I'm not gonna talk about it in detail. And then you duck jump all the way here. Now, there are 2 scenarios that can happen when you do this. Assuming that the earlier part of the level is according to how we described it, on how to do it. Notice Bowser's breaths. The pattern of his breaths. When you enter this level, it's 1 breath, then 1 breath, then 2 breaths. That's always the pattern that happens. Now, based on my experience in doing runs with this, perhaps might be a mistake that you would do based on their experience with SMB1, is that they want to get to Bowser as fast as possible, while disregarding how the fire breaths appeared. If you feel like you're gonna make it before that second breath, the one that just hit me, if you feel like you're gonna make it before that even fires up, that's gonna make sure that the small fire setup works. For some reason, I don't really know what's the mechanics behind it, but based on my observation, if you let that second fire breath show up while you're in the Bowser fight, the setup will not work. However, if you feel like you're not gonna make it, it's okay to wait here. The second breath, you can let it show up here, and you can safely get past it. Once you know that you can safely get past it, like around this time, just do that one. Left tap, duck jump, duck jump. That's the situation that I'm talking about. This will not end well as far as setting up for small fire is concerned. So you don't want to do that. If you feel like the second breath's gonna come in as you enter the Bowser fight, there is a backup for it, but it's gonna waste more time. And we'll get to that later. I'll try to do the slow strat here. What you do is you wait for that to come in, that second fire breath, avoid it, of course, and then you get into the fight. So you can do this however you want, as long as you're able to get past that second Brett before proceeding into the area with the Bowser fight. Even if it's like that, that's fine. Now, so that's the pillars. That's how you deal with the pillars. Essentially, if you can do it fast enough with the duck jumps, with the left tap, taking advantage of that fast acceleration, if you don't bonk with any of the pillars, and you run into the Bowser fight without having to spawn that second fire breath, you're good to go. That's the fastest you can do to set up small fire. But if you're not gonna make it, or you bonked one of the pillars, just wait for the second fire breath to come in and then proceed over the last pillar once you feel like it's safe, and then run to the right. And then after that, there are two ways to get to the other side. I could do a duck jump there. Let's see, if you do it a fast strat here, you could do that, the regular 1-4 SMB1 strat. If you do the fast pillar movement, it's pretty much SMB1. Like that. And it involves jumping on the early side of the platform and doing a duck jump immediately. Jump, duck jump. If Bowser were jumping forwards, it's gonna damage you. But if you do the slower one, which is quite understandable, this is a tough section to work with. That's what I do. You do a duck jump. And I don't really have a good visual key for this. Once you think Bowser is gonna be at the peak of his jump, that's when you do the duck jump. I'm doing a full jump while ducking. That's what you want to do. It still hits it though. Take it with a grain of salt. You don't want to be late with the jump, because you will bonk that elevator and you get hit. I would say it's a 3-frame window to do that duck jump. If you don't do a duck jump, you could still make it, but it's gonna be a bit more tight. It's tighter to do it. I think it becomes 2 frames to jump. There's an alternative strat that you could do, wherein you could do the same thing in Mario 1. Just get there. Like that. Instead of doing the whole duck jump or the full jump and hope that you don't bonk the platform, you could do how you would do it in SMB1. But of course the caveat there is, if it's a forwards Bowser, it's an automatic reset. And it involves jumping on the early side of the platform. Now, if you do bonk the platform, if you do bonk it and Bowser is not in a good position, the strat would be to wait until he's about to do a third jump. So you wait for his third jump. I'm gonna show that here. Let's say you bump. You have to wait for his third and do like a running jump. I'll do that again. 2, 3, jump for your life, and oh well, it's dependent on how. Okay, so there's a situation where I made a mistake here. I thought I would make it, but the second Brett showed up in the Bowser fight. So if I try to get over him, the regular strat, I go over everything, then do the setup, it's not gonna work 100% or 99%. like that one. So wait for the third jump, and then wait over here. It's less lenient, like that one. Jump third time, and then wait over here. That's the strat. That's the backup strat. Wait for his third jump. When he's about to do the third jump with the fire breath, and just be careful. I recommend just staying on the left side and then do a running start and getting it done. You know. And another thing is you cannot go underneath his second breath. I'll show what happens if you do that. So I'll do the regular. Wait for that one. Second jump. It doesn't work. I don't want to show every possible way to do it, but I know for sure it doesn't work because this is what I used to do with my warpless attempts, and it never worked. It never worked. I think it only worked one time. I don't know how it did. We're gonna move on with 2-1. How to get the small fire itself. So there's a couple ways to do this. I'll show the easy strat, the safest strat ever. Just run until you reach this stop over here. Make sure you're ducking because that last Koopa will damage you, and then you can safely get the power up. I'll do that. Just duck here. Wait until they go away, or until you're comfortable in getting it already, and then you get the first power up. The faster strat would be doing that one, which is what I do in runs. I don't really have a visual cue for this, but I generally just about here actually. Once you're aligned with the power up block, you start pressing left like that, and you'll get it in no time. The general safe area is right under that power up block, like exactly under it. But the thing here is you cannot stay there all the time. You go here, hit this block, scoot over to the right, and get the power up. When I get the power up, I hold right all the time. Turn around jump, turn right, so that you will be on the right side of this Koopa. That makes it less of a problem. You could do, sometimes it lands you, sometimes you bop the Koopa and it puts you on top of the next coin block there. Sometimes it doesn't, but as long as you're pressing right, you should be good. You could do a buffer jump as well, if you really want to optimize it further, or waste less time. But remember, when you hit the block, you have to be somewhere around here. If you're here, you get hit by the second to the last Koopa. And then once the power-up's up, you can jump into it as soon as the opportunity presents itself, which is quite right away. So that's the first part. Safe strat. Duck jump here, duck. This is your safe zone, just duck, and then you can get this safely here. And then the faster strat would be doing this. Jump, scoot to the right, jump into the power up. And if you're able to buffer the jump, just like in 1-3, that would be great. If you don't, that's fine. Just press right all the time, and you should land safely. Scoot, jump, hold right, so you're on the right side of the Koopa. And then in the next section, you want to hit this one, so you just have another safe, just some extra safety, because you don't want to think about these piranha plants. If we'll do a full jump here, doesn't matter, just make your way here. I would land here and do a turnaround jump here. I don't necessarily do a full jump, just a medium jump here, so I can land, and at the same time I can do a turnaround jump like this one, and then just make your way to grab this one and run. Just some platforming. This is where you're gonna get the power up. So spawn this and then just get this, and it's important for you to get it right away, all in one motion, because if you get it in one motion, not really in one motion, but like no jumps wasted, like you don't bonk on the blocks. I'll show that one. Jump. This one. If you press right, it will land you perfectly onto this platform. If you delay a bit, you will have to, it will waste some time because you have to wait for another cycle of the platform. So here, I do a turning jump right around here, like right about the middle. That's when I start to do that one. Let's see if that visual cue is correct. I just wing it, honestly. Yeah, right around the middle of this platform, you do a turning jump, and it will be convenient enough that when you stop, you'll be able to jump over this one without bonking it. And it's just a matter, at that point, it's just a matter of practice and good platforming. You can go slow like that, it's still good. You can do a full jump for that one. That's an alternative, by the way. Middle. Make sure you take advantage of that fast acceleration. And the rest, and then I'm not really gonna discuss what's gonna happen the rest of the level. The goal here is just to give an idea of how to get to the small fire state. Feel like you're gonna miss it, that's fine. This makes this jump harder, because I also want to spawn this one for the despawn, but that's not gonna be covered in this session. It's more of getting the small fire, essentially. Now I'm gonna show where you can get your power-ups back, just in case you take damage throughout the run. And the first area that you might need to get power-ups back would be in 2-1. I mean, you get damage in 2-1 after just having gotten the setup, and you get damage perhaps near the end. You have 2-2 and 2-3 to get the power-ups back. Let's say you get damage there. This is a star. It's optional. That's the power up. The next power up is it's right over here. The other power up is over here. Would be right around here. And it's a hidden power up, which would be around here. Yes. get this power up. And then the next power up will be at 4-2. This one. And that's the other power up. This is for the strat that I figured out with this one. You can always wait for these to come down if you don't mind losing a lot of time. But if you want to still be fast, that's the way to go. Situations. But if you want to get the one in 5-1, it's going to be over here. Same location, you can get this one. And do the double spell. So you can spawn back here and get the power up for a second time. You can do that strat too. At least one power up. That's the first one in case you get damage in 6-2. The other one is over here. You do a duck jump like that. And then you gotta get the star, because it's pretty tough to get past this without it. And then just run for your life. Take a peek. Second power up is over here. It is the same area as 5-1. The underground in 5-1. Off the fire bar. That's fine. The important thing here is the power up is right over here. You get it like that. 8-2 is gonna be regular. There's a power up there just in case. Let's say you get damaged by this one. There's one here. There you go. That's the last power up that you can get in this. Thank you so much for taking your time in this tutorial. I hope it helps, and good luck with runs.